So the boomers are a new type of hearing consumer. They are the highest impact, most distinct generation in history, and they have redefined consumerism and healthcare during every stage of their life. So what drives this new consumer? It's typically their values, their fears, and their motivations. And generationally speaking, these things sometimes change between generations, which makes generational segmentation so interesting. So values are things we hold as important and they drive our behavior. Fears are things that we find unpleasant and dangerous and we act to avoid. And motivations are something that leads us to behave in a certain way. So what do these clues reveal about what we should offer these people? Well, they see themselves as unique, and if you remember, they value those deeper relationships. So a personalized experience is really important to them. They also fear a loss of voice. So involving them in the process as much as possible is a great opportunity. And if you remember, they fear having a loss of voice, and they value information and education. And they will question you, don't forget that. So providing evidence-based counseling is an easy way to help these people. They fear illness. So focusing on the upside of hearing health or help versus the downside of hearing loss is a great tactic. And they value loyalty, so you need to reward them for that. Which also means that your messaging needs to be direct and not overly clever, emotional, or humorous, because they're not looking to be entertained like some of the younger generation. They are looking for information. And in the end, it means your website is an important landing spot before they ever contact you. So make no mistake, they are checking out your clinic online. And they're looking to see what you're offering. And does it match with what they're looking for? Does it match with their values? And if it does, they're going to contact you. And if it doesn't, and if they don't get the information they're looking for, they are going to move on. Okay, so let's look on how we can bring all this together to solve this marketing mystery. We know that you need to know your target audience. And for Unitron, we believe that it's the younger consumer, and we affectionately call him Alex. That tells you what their fears, motivations, and values are, so that you can figure out what you should offer. And then knowing where you can find them, we know it's digital media as well as traditional. Website is an important part. This is where you can deliver your message. So do we think this is it? Do you think this solves the marketing mystery? No? Yes? Not sure? I don't think so. Because if this was it, everyone here in this room would sound and act exactly the same. So we're missing one piece of our marketing mystery. And that one piece is, why would somebody choose your clinic? What makes you special? That's understanding your brand. Now you can shape and you can choose your brand, you can choose what it should be. Just remember, when you are choosing, some of your brand might already be there. So an example is, maybe you've been in your area for a really, really long time. That makes you different. Or maybe you have the most expertise in your area. That would be important as well. You can also think about your brand. You might think about those megatrends we talked about earlier. You can take a look at them because these are things that these consumers find valuable. So maybe you're the clinic that makes things simple and easy. Or maybe you're the clinic that provides the best end-to-end experience in your area. Maybe you offer the most personalized solution, or maybe you are very authentic and people really like you for that. Whatever you choose, whatever that big message is that you want to provide to the market, what you need to remember is that needs to show up in every touch point you have with your customers. Everyone. What happens when they call your office? What happens when they come into the office? What happens when they're sitting in the waiting room? What happens in the experience you provide them from A to B? What happens when something goes wrong? that big message and what it is that you want to be differentiated for needs to show up in all those different touch points. So let's look at 3 imaginary clinics and see how we can make this work. Each clinic follows the same who, what, where, but they are going to position themselves differently with their brand, showcasing their values, and maybe bringing in a consumer trend. So let's look at the first clinic. These all are imaginary, just so you know. The first one is called the Hearing Experience. And they are very focused on the experience megatrend. They also remember that the consumer is looking for information, and they see themselves as unique. So this clinic positioned themselves as a patient-centric experience with a free trial and an app. The app is where the consumer gets their voice heard. And you can see by the visuals that it's a different experience they're showcasing. The second clinic is called the Personal Touch Hearing, and they're very focused on personalization. They remember that this new consumer sees themselves as very unique, and they want their experience valued. And they also question. So how this clinic has set themselves up, or what they've positioned themselves as someone who offers a personalized solution with a real-world trial assessment. And the third clinic is called Here Now. They are very focused on the simple megatrend. So they position themselves as hearing made easy with 3 basic steps: call, visit, and try. And you can see by their design that it's also very simple. So what we have is we have 3 different clinics, 3 different approaches, 3 different communication styles. But they all go back to the fears, the values, and the motivations of these new consumers. So how will you solve the marketing mystery? Marketing can absolutely distinguish you in your market, and can also create impact and success for your clinic. And you have to remember there's not one formula that goes across everyone. But a successful approach to that is a very clear understanding of who you're targeting, what they value, where to find them, so you can deliver your big message and what makes you different and important. And if you follow that, you will be able to unravel the marketing mystery in your clinic.